The influence of media in China. The official name of China is People's Republic of China. It is a unitary sovereign state in East Asia. China is the world's most populous country with a population estimate over 1,381 billion persons. China is considered a country with great power and a major regional power with Asia. China emerged as one of the world's earliest civilizations. The first dynasty known was Xia around 2100 before Christ era. Shang dynasty is the earliest to be confirmed by contemporary records. This dynasty ruled from 17th century to the 11th century. Later, they were conquered by the Sui, which ruled China from the 11th century to the 5th century. In the 5th century became the Warring States period, where emerged 7 powerful sovereign states that will decade with the King Shen when he proclaimed himself first emperor of Qing dynasty. China has then expanded, fractured, and reunified several times. With Tang, Shang, Yuan, and Ming dynasties, China entered to a golden era which developed a huge success in economy, technology, culture, and art. Qing dynasty was the last dynasty that ruled China. In 1912, China became Republic of China. That was a period of continuous war. With the victory of the Communist parties in 1949, China became People's Republic of China, which continued ruling the country. The government of the People's Republic of China is officially atheist. However, Chinese has been influenced by various religious movements. Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism are the main religions who shape Chinese culture. In 2014, a study released that 74% of Chinese are non-religious, 60% are Buddhist, 2% Christians, and 1% Muslims. The ethnic minority groups maintain their traditional autochthon religion. China officially recognizes 56 different ethnic groups. The largest is the Han Chinese with a total population of 91.5%. There are more or less 6,000 foreign citizens, principally from South Korea, the US, and Japan. In the economy aspect, China has the largest economy in the world. China has become one of the world's fastest growing major economies. It is the world's largest exporter and the second largest importer of goods. China has developed an independent industrial system, and it is recognized as a nuclear weapons state with the largest standing army and the second largest defense budget. China is governed by the Communist Party. It is one of the world's few remaining socialist states openly endorsing communism. The government is communist and socialist, but also authoritarian and corporatist. Chinese society suffers heavy restrictions in many areas, principally against free access to internet, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, the right to have children, free formation of social organizations, and freedom of religion. Its current political, ideological, and economical system has been termed by its leaders as the People's Democratic Dictatorship, socialism with Chinese characteristics, and the socialist market economy. China has a strong regionalism. There are people with diverse physical traits, dialects, and traditions. Also, Chinese are multicultural, multireligious, and multi-ethnic. An example of the regional difference could be the difference between northern and southern China, where the people are physically and genetically different. Media in China consists principally of TV, newspaper, radio, and magazines. Since 2000, the Internet emerged as an important form of communication, and it is placed under the supervision of the Chinese government. There are regulatory agencies which set strict regulations on media subjects. However, the mainline Chinese media has become increasingly commercial market, with growing competition, diversified content, and an increase of investigative reporting. Areas such as sport, finance, and entertainment industry face little regulations. The media issues are principally the censored on TV, print media, radio, film, theater, text messaging, instant messaging, video games, literature, and Internet. Internet censorship is extreme due to the wide variety of laws and regulations. The government suspended most of the application from the Internet and installed firewalls that limit the content of homepage and block access to certain Internet sites. The Great Firewall of China is the Golden Shield project, which is used by the government to control the access of the Internet in China. The effort made by the government is enormous because via internet services, chat rooms, and text message, society organized or publicized protests against the government. Some examples are the protests anti-pollution, anti-corruption. China has the largest number of imprisoned journalists and cyber dissidents in the world. It's why many Chinese telecommunication companies are afraid. The impact of China is enormous. China has the largest number of active cell phones, also has the world's largest number of internet and broadband access. More than 250 million people in mainland China have internet access. The impact is so important that China is developing its own satellite navigation. With the internet, especially social media, have been open ordinary information between Chinese citizens known as netizens, giving a flourishing in the economy, homegrown, and an engagement between netizens. It is true that social media is deeply integrated into people's lives. Each Chinese spends 1 hour per day in internet sites. Because of this, Chinese began to express themselves and being exposed to international media. Also, media via instant internet service, chat rooms, and text message had begun social mobilizations as anti-pollution, anti-corruption protests, and ethnic riots. Social media also is changing young Chinese activities, behaviors, values, and culture. They are becoming more consumist and values are suppressing desire, delaying gratification, and thriftiness are vanishing. The Chinese are consuming more and they are changing their patterns and values. And finally, media also had impact the economy, so many companies are changing their marketing strategies and so over. I think media will play an important role in Chinese culture and society. With the pass of the time, I think globalization and international media will help to suppress the laws and regulations, giving to the Chinese a free access to the internet, freedom of press, and freedom of assembly. China will experience a social media expansion. As conclusion, I can remark that China is an economic and political potential country and is experiencing a new era in which media is playing a principal role. China's society is beginning to experiencing change in their culture, values, and behaviors, and also for the first time the entire world is listening to Chinese society. And finally, the economic, political, and social structures are changing, giving China enormous development in these areas.